Kia ora. In today's news, there's a mix of old and new in Labour's new lineup. Leader David Shearer has announced his cabinet reshuffle, with former Minister Annette King given the health portfolio and Deputy Grant Robertson given the role of taking on Stephen Joyce over jobs. Phil Twyford's been promoted to the front bench and given housing, and Senior Whip Chris Hipkins has taken education off Nanaia Mahuta. Mr Shearer describes it as a substantial reshuffle. And there's a welcome back into the fold, almost, for Labour leadership contender David Cunliffe. He was demoted last year after challenging David Shearer. In today's caucus reshuffle, Mr Shearer has given the former minister the portfolios of Revenue, Fisheries and Associate Finance, but kept him outside the top 20. Meanwhile, Annette King is vowing to take on Health Minister Tony Ryall with no holds barred. The former Health Minister and Deputy Leader has been promoted, as we heard, to the front bench. So she's taking the health portfolio from Marion Street. She says Mr Ryall's created a climate of fear in the health sector.
You can get a story a day. I've just been to Waikanai, 2 health stories. Please don't use our names, they say, because we don't want to be victimised. I think Tony Ryall's been very successful in closing down health.
Women's fashion retailer Suzanne Gray has begun consulting with staff about proposals to shut all 19 of its New Zealand stores. The Australian firm says it's failed to establish a sustainable business here since launching in 2006. Chief Executive Carol Molyneux says the proposal is to close the New Zealand stores over an 11-month period starting next month. Kiwi Rail says it's stunned and baffled by the accident which saw a woman in a wheelchair hit by a train on a level crossing in Auckland. The woman's in a serious condition in Auckland Hospital. Kiwi Rail Chief Executive Jim Quinn says Kiwi Rail's investigating how such a thing could happen. The government's keeping a close eye on the dry spell afflicting much of the North Island. The last week of summer sees councils in both Waikato and Northland considering declaring a drought. A man's died after being run over by a forklift in Christchurch. It's understood an employee was driving a forklift when he hit and ran over the workplace foreman on Annex Road shortly after 5:30 this morning. Detective Sergeant Chris Power says a number of investigations have commenced.
An employee driving a forklift drove into and over a worksite foreman and resulting in a fatal injury.
A tiny seabird the size of a sparrow, thought to be extinct until 10 years ago, has been found breeding on Little Barrier Island in the Hauraki Gulf. Researchers are elated at finding the New Zealand storm petrel's breeding ground, saying it's essential for the conservation of the critically endangered species. The bird was rediscovered in 2003, but no one knew where they bred. The poisoning of pigeons in Wellington has been labelled as cruel and unacceptable. The SPCA has noted a spike in poisoning around the city by a culprit that they've been unable to find. Vet Alan Probert says the manner in which the birds die from the poison is inhumane. And it's 0 from 3 for Kiwi-made Oscar contender The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Sir Peter Jackson's movie was nominated for 3 Oscars: Production Design, Best Visual Effects and Best Makeup and Hairstyling. But Production Design went to Lincoln, Best Visual Effects went to Life of Pi, and the Best Makeup was awarded to Les Miserables. And that's all from the newsroom for tonight. Do join us again soon. From all of us, bye for now. Ka kite anō.